The life of two sisters, Rachel and Leah. Rachel and Leah were sisters, daughters of Laban, and central figures in the family of the patriarch Jacob, the grandson of Abraham. Their story unfolds in the book of Genesis, chapters 29 to 35, and reflects themes of love, rivalry, pain, and divine purpose. Jacob had traveled to Haran to escape his brother Esau's anger and to find a wife among his relatives. There he met Rachel, a shepherdess, and instantly fell in love with her. She was described as beautiful in form and appearance. Genesis 29, verse 17. Jacob agreed to work 7 years for Laban to marry her, and he did so gladly because of his deep love for Rachel. But on the wedding night, Laban deceived Jacob by giving him Leah, the older sister, instead. Leah is described as having tender eyes, a phrase interpreted variously, sometimes to suggest gentleness, sometimes to imply she was less attractive than Rachel. Jacob was shocked and angry when he realized the switch, but Laban insisted that it was not their custom to marry off the younger daughter before the older. So Jacob agreed to work another 7 years for Rachel, whom he married a week later. The story of Rachel, as told in the Bible, is one of love, longing, and pain interwoven with divine intervention and the unfolding of God's plans. Rachel's life is primarily recounted in the book of Genesis, chapters 29 through 35. Her experiences reflect the complexity of human relationships and the struggles of faith. Now Jacob had 2 wives, Leah, who was unloved, and Rachel, who was beloved. This dynamic led to bitterness and rivalry between the sisters. But God saw Leah's sorrow and blessed her with children. Leah bore Jacob 6 sons and a daughter: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Dinah. Rachel, though deeply loved, remained barren for many years and cried out to God in her grief, saying, "Give me children, or I die." Genesis 30, verse 1. Rachel struggles with barrenness. In the ancient Near Eastern culture, a woman's ability to bear children was highly valued, and Rachel's barrenness weighed heavily on her. The Bible recounts her anguish as she cried out to Jacob, "Give me children, or I'll die." Genesis 30, verse 1. This statement reflects her deep despair and the societal pressures she faced. Finally, God remembered Rachel and opened her womb. She gave birth to Joseph, who would later become a powerful leader in Egypt. Years later, she had another son, Benjamin, but tragically, she died during childbirth and was buried on the way to Bethlehem. Rachel was buried on the way to Ephrath, Bethlehem, and Jacob set up a pillar over her grave, which remains a significant landmark, Genesis 35, verses 19 to 20. Her death left a lasting mark on Israel's history. Centuries later, the prophet Jeremiah referred to her in his lament. "A voice is heard in Ramah, Rachel weeping for her children." Jeremiah 31, verse 15, which is echoed in the New Testament during the time of Herod's massacre of infants. Matthew 2, verse 18. Rachel's life reflects deep human longing, both for love and for children. Her story shows the complexity of family, rivalry, and the painful reality of infertility, yet also the faithfulness of God in fulfilling promises. Despite her struggles, she is remembered as one of the matriarchs of Israel and mother of 2 vital tribes through Joseph and Benjamin. Leah, though initially unloved, became the mother of Judah, the tribe from which King David and ultimately Jesus Christ would descend. Rachel, remembered for her beauty and sorrow, became a symbol of longing and hope. The prophet Jeremiah later wrote, "Rachel weeping for her children," Jeremiah 31, verse 15, a verse also quoted in Matthew 2, verse 18, during the time of Jesus. Joseph was the 11th son of Jacob and the first son of Rachel, Jacob's beloved wife. Because Rachel was long barren, Joseph's birth was considered a special blessing. Jacob loved Joseph more than his other sons and made him a richly ornamented robe, often called the coat of many colors, Genesis 37, verse 3. This favoritism stirred jealousy and resentment among his brothers.